today reaction to teen lures man on date, then watches her boyfriend off him. I just know one of the worst ways and most vulnerable things in the world gotta be yo end to a woman setting you up. Like at one moment you think this because you know the feeling about you about to have relations, and then the next moment, if you don't just see black, you see somebody running up on you to essentially get you to where you see him black. It's crazy. Let's do it.
When Jarrell Pryor agreed to meet a woman he connected with online, he thought it was just a first date. He had no idea it would be his last night alive. Jarrell was a proud father. Now that little girl has to face a world without him. No more bedtime stories, no father-daughter dances, and one day, no dad waiting at the end of the aisle to walk her into a new chapter of life. What started as a simple night out allegedly ended in a deadly setup. Indianapolis police say Jarrell was ambushed, allegedly lured into a trap by the very woman he'd hoped to get to know. She reportedly was not alone. Detectives believe she was working with her boyfriend. An alleged plan to rob Jarrell turned violent and ended in murder. I'm Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the chilling final moments of Jarrell Pryor's life and the twisted betrayal that left a community searching for justice. For this story, we take you to Indianapolis, Indiana, January 2025. According to
all my niggas living in Indiana, man. What y'all be doing out there, bro? You know, I'm not one of them people to be like, oh, y'all just, I don't know what the hell, but I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't. You feel me? But I ain't gonna do too much because, you know, Texas got a stigma. There's niggas that still really think there's like we out here riding horses in the middle of fucking Houston going to the Galleria and shit. It's goofy shit, but you know.
Documents obtained by Law and Crime, Jarrell Pryor's murder began with a text and ended with an alleged deadly setup. Just hours before he was killed, police say Jarrell messaged a young woman he'd met online, 19-year-old Alexis Hawkins. The message was just 3 words: when you free. The affidavit says Hawkins responded. She told him when she was available and agreed to go on a date. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. While she was allegedly texting Jarrell, Hawkins was reportedly messaging someone.
This was some quick shit he was trying to get on. Right here.
Else on Instagram. Her boyfriend, 18-year-old Brian Winston Jr. Investigators say Hawkins was working out the details.
This is not one of them you go try to, this is not one of them you try and find, you don't DM this, you just happen to know this from a time in your life, and so you just hit her up to see if we can, but you don't go try and overly pursue this. Not this. Come on, man. Not Carrot Top with the little teeth.
Of her date with Pryor while secretly coordinating with Winston behind the scenes. Jarrell had no idea, no clue that Hawkins was in a relationship or that anything could go wrong. It was.
Hey, and real quick too, as a parent, bro, we gotta just think and be so much smarter and on our P's and Q's, like so much more. We can't just move around like and just do things out of just extreme like niggas move out of you lust, you gotta move correct. Nigga, what? You a father, bro. You know, a young one at that, but you still a father. Like, and you know, at time these mistakes are mistakes you would make closer to that age range, but shifts have to be made when we got children, bro. And we can't go out like this, though.
It was just a date, and maybe, if things went well, a chance to meet up again. But police say it was never about the date, it was a trap. That night, Jarrell met Hawkins in person. They sat together in his car, and shortly before 1 a.m., Hawkins' boyfriend allegedly appeared and opened fire. Jarrell Pryor, just 26 years old, was shot and killed. A young father, now gone. His daughter, just 2 years old, left behind. As police began their investigation, they discovered the messages between Pryor and Hawkins. They then obtained a warrant to search Hawkins' Instagram account, and what they allegedly found raised even more red flags. Investigators say she searched phrases like news today near me, and shootings Keystone, all on the day of the murder. Police also discovered that Hawkins had allegedly messaged several people asking for a ride near the location of the shooting around the time Jarrell was killed. When detectives questioned Hawkins the following week, she allegedly claimed she couldn't remember much about that night. She reportedly insisted she didn't have a weapon and told police, "No weapon to say I did anything. My fingerprints aren't on anything." When asked if her fingerprints might be found inside of Jarrell's car, Hawkins reportedly replied, "It's not going to be on no weapon, though." But the moment investigators asked about a message she sent saying she was going to make a, quote, play, Hawkins allegedly stopped talking and asked for a lawyer. She was arrested shortly after and charged with murder and robbery resulting in serious bodily injury. Winston was charged as well with murder, felony murder, and robbery. Now, Jarrell's family is left to pick up the pieces. His parents, once looking forward to watching their son become the man and father he aspired to be, are now raising the little girl he left behind. His mother, Tamika Wiley, told WXIN, "I'm broken inside." And just weeks ago, Jarrell's parents celebrated their granddaughter's 3rd birthday, a milestone that should have been filled with joy, laughter, and her father's love. Instead, it was a day marked by absence. No Jarrell, no hugs from dad, just a little girl too young to understand why her dad never came home. Justice may come in a courtroom, but for this family, the real sentence is living without Jarrell. And joining me to talk more about this is legal expert Andy Baldwin. Andy, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's just jump right in. How does a case like this typically move through the Indiana legal system once charges are filed?
Well, the first thing that's going to happen is these 2 defendants are going to have to get lawyers. And so there's going to be an initial hearing very quickly, and the judge is going to find out, what are you guys doing about lawyers? And then the real work begins. And because in a case like this, I think you really need to get some quick action with your lawyers and figuring out what you're going to do. A lot of times in my world, you have some time to kind of dig into the facts, dig into the evidence, and see exactly what the state has. But in a case like this, when you have 2 people that are co-defendants, you may need to go to the prosecutor to get that deal first if you are in fact guilty.
And what are the first steps that prosecutors take after an arrest in a homicide case? What do you think they're doing right now behind the scenes?
Oh, prosecutors, once the charge is filed, they really just depend on their detectives and their investigators to take the lead role in terms of gathering evidence. And they'll be communicating, the prosecutor will be communicating with the detectives and saying, hey, maybe I want you to go get a geo-tracking off of one of the cell phones to make sure where they are.
I'm now realizing, y'all, that we got the story of what happened, but the rest of this is just this person talking about whatever the fuck. I wasn't aware of that. We pre-watch these videos before I put them up. So I'm not about to sit here and watch this nigga and this woman talk and ask questions about shit that, I'm thinking it's about this. So shit, we at the 8-minute mark. Sorry about that. I'm gonna make sure I get 2 other videos up with this one, the Take K video, as well as shit. Maybe I'll do a Bill Feezy. Y'all have something else. It might be a body cam. We'll see. But because of how short this video is and me not knowing that, I'm still putting it up because the time got used and time is money. So let's go ahead and do it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm great for y'all. Let me know what y'all think though about the video. And we go on. ADD lad, do it.